Hello, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Thank you so very much for being here with me. It is such a blessing to be here with you for your January 2024 Tarotscope. So thank you so very much. I appreciate you greatly. In the description box below, there will be links to all sorts of things, including information on personal readings, information on the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram, and donations if you would like to explore any of those options. However, there is no pressure whatsoever. There will also be a timestamp in the description box if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. Please do keep in mind that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading, so only take what resonates with you. If you do find that there are things that resonate with you, please do hit that like button or subscribe to the channel. It really does tell YouTube that there may be something valuable here for others, and I greatly appreciate that gift from you to them. So thank you so very much. Now, January kicks off 2024, which does happen to be a number 8 year, encouraging us to step into our personal power, to have faith in our own abilities, and to use them to their highest potential. These are some of the things that we're going to be exploring with this month's Tarotscope. So let's dive in and see what's coming through for you. Now, if you have been here before and watched some of my previous Tarotscopes, things that may look a little bit differently. For this Tarotscope reading, I'm actually going to be using primarily oracle cards. Now, I do have tarot out in case I need a little bit more information, but I really do enjoy using strictly oracle cards. It's something that my membership channel has seen me do quite often. So just putting that out there for you. All right, so please, Father, Mother, Life, Christ, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, tell us about January 2024 for Aries, please. Tell us about the overall energy of 2024 for Aries, please. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, I'm getting that one and this one as well. What new level of power and inner strength is being ignited from within, Aries, please? What new level of power and inner... Okay. And this one as well. And I feel like that one. Thank you. What is gaining momentum for Aries this month, please? Okay, thank you. And what advice or messages will best, support and serve Aries and their journey moving forward? All right. Okay, Aries, so the overall energy for you for January 2024, you have here why. This is the number 31. It feels to me as if you may be re-examining your why. This could be associated, I feel very strongly that there's someone or many perhaps where there's, again, this re-examination of your why for whatever it is you're doing in your life that, how do I say this, takes up a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, a lot of your attention. This may be something to do with your purpose or your career or something along those lines, but I really feel that there's this questioning of meaning. It feels like you may be feeling more guided or encouraged to do things that have significant meaning for you or deep meaning to you. If there are things in your experience that maybe don't feel very meaningful anymore, I feel like you may be going back and forth with or decide to remove yourself from those things. Now, the number 31 reduces to 4, which is a number of foundations. It is also a number of, support from the angelic or spiritual realms. So if you can see here, I know there's a glare, so I do apologize, but if you can see here, there's this book with wings. And I feel as though it's part of it, again, is kind of re-examining your story. Like, where do you want your story to go? How do you want it to feel? What do you want it to mean to you? And I feel these questions are being brought forth from, or how do I say, being like whispered in your ear, if you will. Maybe they're coming up via your intuition or what have you. But I feel as though they're coming from that angelic or spiritual realm, right? Your guides, your angels, these things. Because I feel as though it's time for that shift, which certainly goes without saying based on, us entering a new year. And certainly astrologically speaking, there's a lot happening to bring forth that energy. But it just feels that there's this desire to be more fulfilled, more satisfied, and again, to have something with much more deeper meaning. So again, it really does feel like there's this reevaluation of whether or not the things that you are engaging in your life are contributing to that deep meaning, that sense of purpose, or not. Or I probably just repeated myself, but either way. We also have milk and honey here, the number 51. Again, this feels like I want this to feel good. I want my life to feel rewarding. I want my life to feel sweet and joyous, nourished, right? It just feels as though there's this whole kind of energy for you this month about really finding that fulfillment, finding the things that make life sweet to you, and pursuing or planning or kind of like arranging your life to bring that forward or bring more of that into your experience. The number 51 does reduce to 6, which of course is a number of alignment, adjustment, even harmony. So it feels as though, there's this desire to feel those sorts of things in your experience, right? To feel more aligned, to feel more harmonious, to feel as though, there is a little bit of like a healing energy with this number 6. And I feel like that comes from, maybe for some of you, maybe for all of you, this desire to feel more complete, more fulfilled, right? It doesn't feel like, oh, I have all of these things to heal. Rather, it feels like I want to feel more whole. Okay? So that's a beautiful energy. And I can't blame you, right? Certainly, that would probably be something that we all desire on some level or another. But I just feel that there's this wanting to experience life in a much more vibrant way. Yeah, like I said, we also have here new life, the number 39. So again, right, it is this energy I feel of wanting to experience life differently, wanting it to feel more robust, wanting it to, again, more fulfilling. It's I also feel, how do I say this? For some of you, you may have been gaining new perspectives, learning new things, seeing things differently. And there's almost this energy of, if you can see here, this is where this is coming from. She's almost on this, like a pedestal. And it's like, I see things differently now. And I can I just recognize that some of the things that maybe, I've been engaging in previously, or putting my energy into, are just not satisfying anymore, right? So again, I feel like the overall energy for you is encouraging you, or is kind of bringing forth this desire to experience life on a different level, where you are doing things that are meaningful, purposeful, that feel fulfilling and satisfactory to you, and provide this more vibrant, robust, colorful experience where you feel like you're nourishing and nurturing yourself, and life feels overall a bit more sweet. So, what new level of power and inner strength is being ignited from within you, Aries? We do have here the vampire in the light attribute or upright position. Makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Yes. This is very much what I was speaking on here as well, right? Because it's like looking around and seeing that some of these things are not, let's say, a return on investment in regards to your energy and your attention and your time. It is not giving you something back, right? So, I feel like this is bringing forth that more, how would we say, that kind of authority over your own life, right? Where there's this desire to take charge or take power over these things that have been draining to you, that um, have not been filling your cup, right? Where you've just been dumping and not getting anything back. And for some of you, I don't know why I'm getting this, but for some of you, this could be people. It did feel more along the lines of like purpose or career, or perhaps like study or some kind of expansion or advancement, something you would use long term, or that could potentially provide fulfillment or joy or happiness on a long term scale. But this feels like for some reason this could be people for some of you. And I know that kind of goes without saying, because it does say makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. But I'm getting this feeling of other people being around. So it feels like, again, there's this ignition of like authority over your own life coming through, and wanting to kind of establish almost boundaries is really kind of how this is coming through, right? Like, I'm not going to engage with things that feel as though they're draining to me any longer. Okay. We also have here for you the athlete in the shadow or reverse position. Misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting to me, because when I think of, or rather, let me rephrase, bringing through this energy of the vampire and being aware of these things that are, draining your energy. When I think of an athlete, and I think of it in a reverse position, now this is quite literal, okay, but it's coming through in this way of, again, kind of overexerting yourself continuously, and not ever replenishing yourself, not ever taking time to retreat, care for yourself, give back to yourself, or not engaging in things that do that. This is how it's coming through. It's kind of interesting. I do feel like these two cards play heavily into one another, because I feel like before, so again, this is in the shadow or the reverse, right, which says here false sense of invulnerability. I feel as though previously you may have been someone who was like, I can just go, right? I'm just going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep like trekking on, right? Like I don't have no pause, no chill type of energy. But I feel like there's this awareness that has now taken place that's like, that's not something that's sustainable. Like this is no longer bringing me satisfaction. This is no longer bringing me joy, and I can't just keep up this fight, if you will, in this way. Okay? I feel like there's, okay, thank you. I feel like there's this, so the new level of power or strength, I feel, is this ignition, if you will, of that willpower and strength of spirit. Like I feel like there's a desire to want to build upon these things by replenishing yourself, by filling up your cup, by doing things that provide a more even or balanced or harmonious exchange of energy. Okay, I'm going to show this to you in the upright, but it was in the reverse. I don't know why I'm getting this either, so take it if it resonates. Please do leave it if it does not. This may be very specific to, one or a couple of people, but I feel like for someone, the color purple may be significant in some way, shape, or form. Again, take it if it resonates. If that is true for you, I feel like there's something quite important about what I was just sharing here. Okay. We also have the hedonist in the shadow or the reverse as well. Pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. Yeah, so it's interesting because even though it speaks of pleasures here to the detriment of health, I feel like it's coming through in a more kind of, I don't know why, you guys, but perhaps you're someone who finds great pleasure in ambition, great pleasure in, how do I say this? It, it feels like somebody who is like very work oriented or perhaps goal oriented, or has a very high work ethic, or is very ambitious, or something of that nature. And it feels like this is something that you may have, again, in the past, or up until very recently, were doing, right, to the detriment of your health. Perhaps some of you, and I'm no doctor, I do not diagnose, like I do not give medical advice, but I feel like for some of you, you could have even found your health suffering. Perhaps this, for some of you, has been that kind of wake-up call, right? That, if you will, that tower moment, which has really put you in a position to look at where you've been overextending yourself, okay? Because it does feel like there's almost this addictive quality to ambition, or this addictive quality to being the person who can just go, 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 and just do it all. But the truth I feel that is coming through is waking you up to the fact that that is not true, okay? That it's not sustainable. That your health, your well-being, whether that be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, suffers. Doing those things causes those things to suffer greatly. So I feel as though, again, it feels like that inner strength or that power is coming from a place of wanting to lay boundaries, wanting to draw lines in the sand, not only with perhaps other people or experiences, situations, but also within yourself, right? To know within yourself and be aware within yourself when you've had enough, when you have to kind of retreat or pull back your energy for your own well-being, not as an act of selfishness, but as an act of self-care and self-love. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Very interesting indeed. And I'm getting to, for some of you, this may have been something that was very kind of financially or materially, pardon me, driven. Okay, like you may have been under perhaps tremendous pressure to provide income. Perhaps I'm getting like the word breadwinner. Maybe you are the breadwinner of your family, if you will, or the sole financial support for your family, or carry a large portion of that. And perhaps this is where some of this has come from. But either way, I feel like, there's this desire to have these boundaries now, and to kind of stand up for yourself. Like I said, be more the authority in your own life. So what is gaining momentum for you? We have yes, just say yes. Now, with the three beings on this card here, I feel part of what's gaining momentum for you, Aries, is truthfully growth. Okay. I feel like that's a big portion of it, is the growth factor and saying yes to your own growth. I also feel as though there's also this yes energy encouraging you to complete a phase of your life where you were or have been overextending yourself, giving more than you have, where you have not been aligned with your why. Again, with what brings that kind of milk and honey, or that vibrancy, that fulfillment, that happiness, that joy into your experience, and saying yes to those things more frequently. Allowing yourself to say yes to self-care, say yes to replenishment, say yes to yourself more and your own needs. And I don't mean that from a place of these are things I desire, though that is also applicable. I feel like it's more about saying yes to yourself and what it is you actually need. Right? Perhaps in regards to your health, your well-being, time that you need to yourself, right? These sorts of things. It just feels like this whole kind of concept of giving back to yourself and doing things that are, how do I say, more beneficial to you and your growth, and growing this more fulfilling, joyous, pleasurable experience overall is what is gaining momentum. Right? I feel as though you're being encouraged to be a little bit more, let's say, assertive toward these things, right? We also have, yeah, come on. We also have birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So I feel like these two cards here beautifully encompass everything that I've been talking about thus far, because I feel like this is like, say yes to a new world for yourself. All right. Say yes to that new age of your life. And actually, something that I've shared with my membership group is this is moving out of 2023 and into the energy of 2024. It feels like closing one chapter and not just starting a new one, but like starting a whole new book. And I feel like this is the energy that is coming through very strongly for you. I mean, you actually have a book. You actually have a book here, right, on the Y card. So I feel as though, for you, Aries, it's very much about writing a whole new book, right? It's like, I don't want to bring any of these past habits, behaviors, neglectful of myself tendencies, or, lack of boundaries or any of these things. Like, I don't want to bring these things that have been so draining to me into my new experience, which again is where I feel these more heavy laid kind of boundaries are coming in. Which, if you look at this card here, she has essentially like look at all of these boundaries, if you will, that have been created around her, right? So it's a sense of protection, really, for your overall well-being. It feels very multi-layered, and I think it's incredibly fascinating that you have new life. Now you have birthing a new age, or birthing these new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And again, I feel like this is gaining momentum for you. Like, throughout a vast majority of your reading, Aries, I've had like all of these body tingles. Like, my body just is buzzing with this enthusiasm, this excitement for the new. I've had a lot of pings in my heart space as well, because I feel like it really may feel like to you, Aries, that like you are literally coming back to life. Like it really may feel that way to you. Okay? So, again, I feel like this is gaining momentum for you, because I feel like, how do I say this? It feels like you may have tried other things to bring this more fulfilling energy, to feel more satisfied, to experience life on a very kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? It feels very kind of like senses oriented, right? Like, I don't know how you would put that. Maybe like aesthetically. No, that's not right. It's like seeing life with new eyes, like feeling life differently, the taste of life being different. It feels like it's something that has really been boiling up within you, or bubbling up within you, to want to experience. So again, I feel like this is just kind of snowballing now, right? I feel like once you kind of open that can of worms, if you will, there's kind of like no going back, because you can't unsee what you've now seen. And now that you've seen it, it's like, now I want to create it. Now I want to make it happen, because I've had, like, you could have actually had dreams about this, about feeling completely different about life, about yourself, how you experience life. And so now it's like, now how can I make this happen? How can I bring this into being? Right? So it feels like, this saying yes to yourself and saying yes to this new world, or this new way of being, is what is gaining momentum for you this month. Okay, so what advice or messages are going to best support and serve you and your journey moving forward? We do have, oh my gosh, come on, I have chills. You are protected, Archangel Michael. Thank you, Michael, for surrounding me with your protective light. Like I said, it feels like protection, right? It feels like protection, because I feel like this consistent like dumping into all of these things and not feeling fulfilled by them, or not feeling that they're rewarding. And I don't mean that on a financial level. I don't mean that on a material level. I mean like fulfilling to your heart, fulfilling to your soul, fulfilling to your entire being. I feel like it's so draining that, again, it may be, or may have taken a toll on your physical well-being, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being. And again, I feel like all of this is coming in because it is a means of protecting you, which, Archangel Michael is often associated with this sort of light, cutting cords, these sorts of things. And I do feel as though, there's that energy of, perhaps this is people. Okay, so you may find that in January, you are really kind of cutting some of those cords to things, where, again, it's just not serving you anymore. As a matter of fact, not only is it not serving you, but it's become detrimental to you, even if that is just your mental well-being, or, your overall feelings of life. I feel like it's now become detrimental to you. And so this is a means of protecting you. You know, and of course, you're going to do or not do whatever you want. Um, but, you know, I feel like if this message is, you know, hitting home for you, if you will, I feel like this is something that is probably very deeply felt. Like I don't feel like this is something you've been dipping your toe into, like, oh, maybe I'm really disappointed or unfulfilled by this, or maybe it's okay. Like I just feel like there's no question about it. Like it is really just it is like all of the flavor and the color has gone from life. Okay? We have here, live your joy. Thank you, angels, for supporting me as I follow joy. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel like I have all over body buzzing, body tingles, goosebumps, whatever you want to call them. Um, because I do feel again that this is like you are being guided to kind of align with these things, pursue these things, and I feel like you are incredibly supported. Like I said earlier, it feels like your you know your angels or the angelic hierarchy, the spiritual hierarchy, your guides, your ancestors, whatever it is for you, are really encouraging this. You like it really does feel like you have so much support in pursuing this. Again, because I feel like it has actually become detrimental at this point. And it feels like you may have, how would I say this? At this time, you may even be feeling like you have almost like a covering in a way. It's kind of how I'm seeing it, almost like a protective covering, or I don't know how, umbrella perhaps would be a better way to kind of help you to see what I'm seeing. Because it feels as though there's that much support that you have, right? Like there's a tremendous amount of it, I feel. You know, so again, you know, I feel like this is what, if you're resonating with this, I feel as though this is what you are being encouraged to do. Follow the things, pursue the things, plan for the things, you know, whatever it is that are going to fulfill you, that are going to bring more harmony into your experience, happiness, celebration, you know, these sorts of energies. We have here for you as well, yes, healthy choices. Thank you, angels, for guiding me to make healthy decisions. I mean, you know, I'm probably going to sound like a broken record at this point because I feel like a lot of this is reiterating what has already been brought through here. But it does feel as though, you know, those encouragements or those nudges, perhaps intuitively, that you're getting to, you know, walk away from this thing or to walk away from this person is, or simply to draw boundaries or to create boundaries is stemming from this, because you have several different things that have been brought up here where it is related to your health, your well-being on all fronts. Okay, so like here we have this energy of pardon me, pursues things like to the detriment of health. Now we have healthy choices, and I've been saying like you may like this may have taken a toll on your health. That may have been the wake-up call for some of you. So I do feel, you know, that you have a lot of support in bringing this forward more, paying more attention to these things. I feel like you're getting like I'm kind of seeing it like an elbow actually. You know, you may have been getting these nudges where, you know, your angels, your guides, spirit, source, universe, God, whatever you refer to it as, are like, nope, let's not do that. Let's not do that. You may have even, which I feel like is kind of cliche to bring up for the month of January, but still it's coming through, so I'm going to share it. You may have even perhaps, you know, got a gym membership or Perhaps like become a member or subscribe to some kind of healthy eating plan or something of that nature. And I feel like this is stemming from your guide, your angels, all of the support for you, really trying to bring things up on all facets, like not just one area over the other, but really, trying to improve your well-being everywhere. Okay. You know, I'm also getting, and I know this is probably pretty obvious, but I'm also getting like yoga or meditation, perhaps, silent meditation, even for some of you, just taking up some kind of practice that encourages health overall. Some of you may even have considered some kind of mental health support, maybe through a therapist or a group support system or something of that nature as well. You also have here, trust your vibes. Thank you, angels. Today I choose to trust my intuition and guidance. So, I feel like this is coming through as advice. This has been, in some sense, I feel like more like messages for you. I mean, they're all messages, of course, but I feel like this is coming through more like advice, because I feel that there's an acknowledgement here that you have so much support around you, and that support system is really kind of trying to encourage you to do things that are going to be best for you. Of course, as with everything, use your discernment. You know you better than anyone else. And it's important to discern between higher vibrational channelings, if you will, and lower vibrational channelings. That's kind of a whole nother story, but I feel like if you know, you know. So we'll leave it there. But, I feel like this is really advice to say, like, what is going to best support and serve you and your journey moving forward is to trust your intuition, is to trust that guidance, because it's not coming from nowhere. These things drop into your field, your awareness, in order to support you. Okay, certainly they're not going to make you do anything. Your angels, your guides, all of that incredible support is not meant to save you. You have to make that decision for yourself. But I feel like they're doing everything in their power within universal law to help you to see these things, to help you to make necessary changes, or to encourage you to make necessary changes, rather. And, should you trust and pursue that, I feel that overall for you, life is going to start to feel, maybe not right away, of course, like, I mean, it's not Amazon, it's not going to show up tomorrow. But I feel like over time, long term, you're going to feel much, much differently about life. So, Aries, I love this for you, truly. I feel like however you're experiencing this energy, whatever's resonating with you, I feel as though it really is trying to move you into a direction where you are leading a more fulfilling, more satisfactory, more joyous, um, sustainable, harmonious, balanced life. And I feel like it's trying to usher in, let's say, a new era for you, and like I said, an entire new book in the story of your life. Thank you so, so very much for being here with me. I pray that something here has resonated for you in some way. Again, if it has, please do subscribe or hit the like button or share or comment below. I greatly, greatly appreciate your interactions with my channel. Again, it does tell YouTube that there may be something valuable here for someone else, and that is such a gift. So thank you for that. Take care of your growing, aware, healthy, thriving soul. Peace be with you and within you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.